I'm Phaedra.
And I'm Sophie.
And this is My Best View.
Phaedra, what was your best view this week?
My best view this week was a vacation I just got back from, which was amazing. I went to St. Lucia in the Caribbean. It was the first vacation I've taken in a really long time. The first beach vacation, and we went to a resort even, that I've taken since before the pandemic. I think the last time was 2018, and it's 2026 now, so it's been 8 years. So that was just amazing. It was absolutely gorgeous. The water was so warm. We were right on the beach. I literally one day I was in the ocean for I think 5 or 5.5 hours, and I was
just pruning it up.
Yeah, and that's not even the day I got a really bad sunburn. That was a different day.
I'm so jealous.
I was just tumbling around in the waves. I love to do this thing where I just float and I let it take me to the breaking point, and then I just let it roll me over and over and again. I love it. And also part of my best view was seeing my husband on his first beach vacation, first resort vacation ever. That was just so special. He's never experienced anything like this. All of it was incredible. Lying on the beach, lying next to the pool, reading my book with a pina colada in hand for 8 days or whatever. It was fucking awesome. Also, at one point we went and we did a whale watching tour where we actually saw no whales, but we saw a hella dolphins that were jumping happily through the ocean, where our boat was going. They were going in the, I forget what you call it, but the water that the boat is moving. They love being in that because it makes them go faster, and they're jumping around directly under us. It was insanely magical. And it was just a dream. But you know what? My best view of the entire time was not any of those incredible dream-like things. It was this other guest who was there, who was this, I don't know, middle-aged to older guy who was bright red, and he wasn't British, which was the craziest part. He was actually American. And he was always drunk, but in a way that I'm not judging. You're on vacation, live your life, king. And the funniest fucking part was he was there with a woman who was age appropriate, but very tight, and her hair was bleach blonde, but really dry. In that way that it's not hating this woman. I'm just painting a picture of their vibe. And he was less attractive. Anyway. And I literally wouldn't have noticed any of that or cared about it, except that at one point he cornered my husband because, I don't know, he just was chatting with everyone and whatever. And I think my husband asked oh, is that your girlfriend or wife or whatever? And the guy's no, that's my travel agent.
Who?
That was the funniest shit I've ever heard. I'm okay, that's so much more suspicious than if you just said, yeah, that's my girlfriend.
He wasn't joking?
No. And it just made me think, spoiler, of Juan and Jessica, who I found out since the show are travel agents. And I'm can you fucking imagine if I set up a travel itinerary through Juan, and then I get to the airport and he's there? Yeah.
I'm going to start a travel agency and be where are we going?
You become a travel agent and you just show up on the tours with everyone. That's so crazy. You make them pay for your tickets. Yeah, they don't even know.
They're why were the plane tickets $4,000 in economy? And I'm
I'm there too, in first class, actually. It was killing me. I'm okay, so is that an affair partner or a sex worker? It's so much more specific than just saying yes. But I've decided now, if people ever ask me who that is about my husband, I'm going to say that he's my travel agent.
I love that. Especially if you're not in a travel context. You're just at the grocery store. You're it's a travel agent.
And Sophie, what was your best view this week?
My best view? Okay, I want to be really clear. I'm going to explain the situation. My best view is the discourse around it, not the situation itself.
Ooh, another discourse best view.
Another discourse, but this is a hyper-specific one you aren't aware of, which is a TikTok subculture that's been forming in Germany among people who are 40 to 60, let's say, because a humpback whale has been stranded in the north of Germany.
Oh.
It's obviously sad, but it's been there for 2 weeks. And the scientists have all concluded there's not a safe way to help the whale. It's
no.
I mean, okay, it is sad. Obviously it's sad, but it's also to a certain degree it is circle of life. If the scientists say there's nothing they can do, there's something kind of wrong with the whale, whatever.
Yeah.
But there's this really weird subculture that's formed of people who have sort of never been involved in any sort of animal rights context, and they're becoming single issue voters about this fucking whale. So first of all, the whale was originally named Timmy, but the supporters have renamed it Hope.
Okay. Wait, literally Hope, or is it the German word?
No, Hope. And they all pronounce it funny. They're Hope. Okay, so they So they renamed it Hope. And for some reason, they've all started using AI to generate slop about Hope.
Perfect.
So there's all of these songs they're generating that are like there's one, for example, that was like Schmerz, Leiden, Qual, du bist ein Buckelwal, which is like, it translates to like basically like pain, suffering, and torture. You are a whale. Like it's like it's just but like rhymes. Like anyway.
What the hell?
Anyway, and the songs are so, and like people are out here making so much AI-generated content about it, like truly slop, like generating, this is what the statue could look like of the, that we'll put in memory or in support of the whale, and we'll engrave the names of everyone who helped with the rescue. I mean, like, they're writing fanfic about the whale.
What the hell? Ironically, probably doing more damage to the environment with the AI than...
A woman from Munich literally went up to the north of Germany, got on a ferry in a wetsuit, jumped from the ferry to swim to the whale.
Oh my
and the police
God.
stopped her when she was like 10 feet away, and she was like, I was gonna help it. And everyone's like, what were you gonna do?
What? Like, encourage it? Like, whisper in its ear, like, you got this?
There's one pop star in Germany who, like, she used to work, or I don't know, she's involved in some way with some like marine conservation organization, but her stance was like, if the scientists say there's nothing we can do, then like I trust the scientists.
Yeah.
But like all these people are trying to cancel her now, and they're all like tagging her and everything, like, at Sarah Connor, save the whale, save the whale. And it's like, what is this random lady in it? Like, and they've put so much pressure that finally like the like environmental minister in the area is like, okay, we'll like try to save it, because he's like so sick of these freaks. Mm-hmm. But it's like really remarkable. Like, I've never seen such a fascinating subculture form so quickly. And one last thing I'll say is that there was a similar issue, I think a year ago, where there was this huge catfish in like a swimming lake that kept biting people. So like the police shot it.
No, what?
Okay, yeah, it is like, yes.
Just move it.
But also then people were like, typical police brutality.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And it's like,
a bit far.
and then a restaurant in the area purchased the dead catfish and then sold steaks, like served it.
Oh. And now, did the people think that that was disrespectful or respectful?
I don't know. Hard to say. But someone pointed out something very interesting, which is that the catfish supporters they leaned more left, and the whale supporters lean a bit right.
See, that actually makes total sense to me.
It's like kind of like anti-vax, where it's like, what do the scientists know? You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's like, it's not like people who care about animals in like any other sort of documented way. It's like just the whale. Anyway, I can't get enough of it.
That's amazing. Thank you very much, Sophie. Every time I learn something about Germany from you, I feel so inspired. I'm not sure what to do with this inspiration. It's not as if like I'm like, oh my God, I also want to move to Germany now, or anything. I'm just like, I feel invigorated. Like it's so fascinating.
You just add it to your file, and then you're like, wow, my file in Germany is really complete.
So everyone, for this episode, we're going to do a very different structure, because we've totally finished recapping the actual season of season 11 of 90 Day Fiancé. But in the interim between now and when season 12 starts, which as a reminder is on May 10th, we wanted in this episode to cover where people from the season are at now, because we did recap season 11 almost a year after it came out, I feel like.
I think so, maybe even more.
So we have the benefit of time, because the last time we saw them, it was at the reunion, which was at least 6 months ago, if not longer. And so we just wanted to find out ourselves. Finally, like, we can look at social media and see where people are at, because we didn't want to see spoilers before. And then we wanted to pass that information along to all of you.
And also, this is like a little bit special interest territory, but I am very interested in everyone's politics. So I did a lot of research, and I have information to present on every single person's political beliefs. And unlike in just watching the show where I had to speculate, I've come with receipts.
And I'm so happy you did, because that is key information. I have a theory that almost all of them are Republican, so I'll be interested to see where this plays out.
And who can say?
You, I think.
Yeah.
So jumping right into it, we start, as we like to do in all things, with Shekinah and Sarper. So Shekinah and Sarper appear to be together still, but kind of their relationship status is a bit dubious.
I've also just seen like there's like no posts of them together in a really long time.
Yes. On Shekinah's Instagram, Sarper hasn't showed up on the main grid since a 1-year anniversary post in November of last year, and it's currently the end of April now. So that's not looking great. Shekinah also on her Instagram is posting kind of like cryptic things. Like, for example, a week ago, she posted an ominous video talking vaguely about how like she's not happy, but hopefully she will be soon. And in the caption, she's like, I'm getting off social media for a while. And then she made her next main grid post a week later.
Yeah. Okay.
Sure, queen. And then she's also announced recently that she's moving to Miami, which seems big.
I do see that for them.
I mean, if Sarper wants to do comedy, though, I actually see it less. I feel like LA makes a lot more sense for him to be in.
That's true.
I think Miami makes perfect sense for her, but I do find that an interesting move. That said, I'm not taking a lot of this super seriously because when I go on Reddit, so many people are like, I don't believe that they're like actually having problems at all, or like that are like significant enough that they get a divorce or something, because apparently this year, it doesn't seem to be actually confirmed by TLC, but it's strongly rumored, so I kind of believe it's true, that 90 Day Fiancé will be having a spinoff coming out called The Last Resort. And my understanding is like the premise of that is it's 90-day couples that are like rocky and like following their relationship and seeing if they'll stay together. So a lot of people are like, these people have been on every fucking spin-off of 90 Day. They're very clearly in it for the career of it. And so they're like pretending to have relationship problems so that they can get on that spin-off.
And I would believe that 100%. Yeah.
I fully believe that. Like, I mean, I think that they have a toxic relationship, but I actually, at the end of the day, do think that they like each other more than they dislike the toxic parts of their relationship.
I agree with you. I also just feel like they're all like everything they do is so like calculated and with a desire for fame that it's just like, I don't know. I feel like with everything with them, I'm like, I'll believe it when I see it, you know?
Overall, Shekinah and Sarper are by far the most followed on Instagram of the whole cast. Shekinah is number 1 at 207,000 followers. Sarper is number 2 at 175,000 followers. And then Shawn has about 62,000, Mahdi about 53,000, Amani 48, Alliya 47, Jessica 43, Stevi 38, and so on and so on. Basically, Mark, Mina, Joan, Juan, Greg, Matt, and Ani don't have a ton. Ani is the absolute lowest. She has only 15K. Me with 700 followers, she has only 15K. But for a reality TV star, it's not great.
That struck me as well. Like, I would have thought, I mean, she doesn't have that much of like a really obvious personality, and maybe that's what people want to see, but I was surprised that she is the lowest. There are other people who I think would be less interesting, but
anyway, so the important part here is that thinking about Shekinah and Sarper, the two of them have the most by a long shot, right? And Shekinah more than Sarper. So Shekinah really, like, her Instagram is super like influencer vibes. Like, she's definitely going for it, and she's being pretty successful at it. She has like sponsored posts. She posts like pictures of her hanging out with like other 90 Day people or just like influencer types like out and about in LA. She also seems to be getting nearly constant plastic surgeries. For example, she just got her 3rd facelift and she's not even 50.
that is really stressful.
And I saw people in the comments, and I don't know how true this is, but people in the comments were like, you're not even supposed to get more than 3 in your entire life.
I believe that because, like, how much elasticity even is there? Like, how much can you stretch your skin?
I know. And again, people were saying that, like, if you get a ton of fillers like Shekinah has gotten, like, it almost stretches out your skin, and then you kind of need to get a facelift, quote unquote need to get a facelift, because it's like your skin becomes so saggy.
Oh.
Yeah, but then it's like then I feel like continues getting the fillers because, like, well, I think because she doesn't understand how she actually looks, and so it's like, oh, I need more and more and more. It's not enough, and then it's like this like vicious cycle, and then she keeps going and getting these like probably paid for, you know, or even sponsored surgeries and cosmetic procedures by like never someone in LA, never someone in the US. It's always like somewhere at like a hospital in like Turkey, or I think I saw her go to Brazil as well. And it's not to look down on, you know, international plastic surgery doctors, but I do think in some places people will go there because it might be easier to find doctors who are like willing to operate on someone who like clearly doesn't quote unquote need it,
or has like clearly like an addiction to plastic surgery. Yeah, I do struggle with plastic surgeons and their relationship with the Hippocratic Oath. There are specific circumstances where plastic surgery is really, really wonderful. Mm-hmm. But for someone like Shekinah or like Amani in the tell-all, it's like, you did harm. And I really kind of struggle with like how they, I don't know, I wonder how they justify that, you know?
I bet it's that kind of thing where it's like, well, I'm not forcing them to get the surgery. They came in, they wanted it. Who am I to deny
I made them
it?
happier. Yeah, I mean, maybe that's it. But it's like, it just is tough when it's like, Shekinah has clearly what is some form of addiction to getting this stuff done. I mean,
Yes.
There's no reason. I genuinely am supportive of plastic surgery if it's like, obviously aside from things like reconstruction and transition and stuff, which I do support regardless, but for just elective, it's like, this one thing really bothered me and I want to fix it and now I feel better. Okay, cool. But like, hey, I hate my whole face. Can you fix it? Oh, I actually still hate it. Can you fix it again? Like, face and body. I don't know. I just like, I struggle with that. I hate how normalized it is. I mean, that I really think it's like, it is surgery. I think it's insane to just be like, casually come with me to get surgery. Like, literally. I think that's insane. But I have trouble criticizing it in the sense that I do view it as an extension of basically every other intervention that people, primarily women, do to fit the beauty standard. And it's like, I don't know, I like have trouble being critical of that and not being critical of like makeup, shaving, you know what I mean? Like,
totally.
In the sense that like it's a more extreme version, but it's just like all of us doing shit to like make pedophiles think that we're cute. Sorry, basically.
I know, agreed. But I will say Shekinah is like the sheer number and speed at which she is getting like repeat plastic surgeries. Like she got lipo too, and like all. And guys, she's so skinny already. I was like, what did you even lipo? Like I don't understand what that is.
I know that like she concretely has like some sort of mental illness around this. Like, and that's where I'm like, ugh.
I know, it's like, it's painful to watch happen because you're like, oh my gosh, this person like so desperately needs help and like someone to give them perspective. And they're just being enabled by all the people around them, or at the very least these surgeons, to just sink into that like negative mindset.
Like, does she just like walk into a plastic surgeon's office and is like, hey, what should we do today? Like the way sometimes you go to like a hair salon and you're like, hey, like...
No, truly. I was talking to my husband about this last night, and he goes, oh, so it sounds like she just gets plastic surgery like it's like she's getting her nails done. And I was like, gagged. Like, that's actually true. That's a really good way to think about it. That is how she seems to approach it.
And that I can like categorically say is crazy, so that shouldn't be happening.
Moving on from her plastic surgery, the only like tea that I found was on Reddit. Someone posted the DMs that, I mean, they're from Shekinah's perspective, so I'm not exactly sure of the history. Like, obviously she sent it to someone or posted it somewhere, I'm not sure. Mm-hmm. But we have access to the DMs between Shekinah and Amani pre-reunion.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't see this.
Okay, so this person says that in the title they say they're, because they've read these texts, they feel like they're going into tell-all part 2 with a clear understanding. So it seems that these were posted between part 1 and part 2. Interesting. Okay, me and Sophie will be acting. I will be Shekinah in these DMs.
And I'll be Amani.
Okay. Wait, is your third trans? Sarper and I don't agree, lol.
I'm not that wild. With like 4 laughing, crying emojis. Who voted trans? She's 6'1". I guess I didn't realize she has harsher features, LOL, until people pointing, I guess, that out. Now, LMAO. I don't know, I'm Middle Eastern, she's Mexican, not the most feminine features. What the fuck?
Already, what the fuck?
Why is she acting like she's so horrified by this when she's going along with it and like making it worse? In the reunion, she's like, why would you say that? But then in the DMs, she's like, LMAO, she is masculine.
Also, her throwing like both of their ethnicities under the bus too, being like, oh my God, our women are masculine. Like, what the fuck is that about?
Also, I'm not that wild, but she's bi, but so she's just a TERF, basically.
Oh my God, is that what that means? I didn't even, oh God, that is what she meant.
I mean, maybe there is a text cut off before, so maybe there was talking about something else.
Maybe.
But from what I'm seeing, it looks like she said, ha ha ha, I'm not that wild.
Like to be with a trans woman.
To be with a trans woman.
Wow. She's not beating the heinous bitch allegations. Okay, so she kind of continues.
Picking back up, yeah.
She kind of literally only says, so she's not?
LMAO. Who thought she was? She's not. Ha ha ha. She's a mom, LMAO. I'm dead. Was it Sarper who thought so?
I did. No, he swore she's not. Don't tell her I did. People always think I'm trans TBH, lol. That's kind of funny.
Yeah, I do like that. That's funny. I won't. Haha. She's tall. I guess I see people think that. That would be a case TLC would love to pick up.
And Shekinah reacts to that message. And then on a different day, it's not clear how much time has passed, but on February 6th, Shekinah replies to some story of Amani's, which we can no longer see. And she says, "Are you telling people why you're there?"
If they ask, yes, I don't hide my surgeries.
Love that. So I guess she was like, I don't know, at some hospital? Anyway.
And then I think this is like another conversation, it looks like.
It seems like there have been conversations happening. Like we can kind of see something cut off that's not from the previous one. But
So Amani says, I like to give you little warning about tell-all. Production may want us to start shit and fight. I don't dislike anyone, just some drama to spice up tell-all. I guess don't take it personal, lol.
Not my first rodeo, sweetheart.
Yes, but I want to apologize in advance, ha ha ha. Nothing but love, I actually like you. Like, spelled wrong. LOL.
Well, I'm a real ass bitch, so I don't say things I don't mean, smiley face. But you can play their games if you want. All good, thumbs up. And then it seems like a little bit of time later, she says, I never planned what I'm going to do or say. I'm real and authentic to how I feel and what I think in the moment. So that fact that you are planning to say things you feel the need to apologize. What? Okay, both of their grammar. So that fact that you are planning to say things you feel the need to apologize in advance for, ... exclamation point, question mark. Oof. Okay, girl, you do you.
No, not like that at all. It's about the Ani trans comment. I was talking to someone at TLC who asked if we started talking to other cast members, members. I mentioned you and mentioned the trans comment. So they said that would be a good topic to bring up on Tell All, which I'm sure they want start shit between us, but it's my fault for mentioning it. I hope this makes sense. I'm not planning anything. I was going to ask your advice later how to best do on Tell All. I don't leak, again, like spelled wrong, to talk about other people's relationships, especially negatively. And then a heart hands emoji.
I would never do that to a woman, asking if she's trans, especially after learning she's not. That's why I asked you privately instead of saving it for cameras. We will all have pre-show calls with producers to dig up dirt and shade other couples, etc. Tell them whatever you want because they want to build on beef you might potentially have with others. But on stage, do what feels right in the moment. Don't be a production puppet. Keep in mind, quote, I am playing myself. I'm not a character on the show, end quote. That's my advice for what it's worth. But maybe you are a character for the show. IDK, just saying what's true for me.
Oh no, they dig for dirt? That's terrible. What do you tell them if there is none?
Okay, so, dude, I have a lot of reactions. What are yours?
I mean, first of all, I will say, I maintain what I said about, like, don't transvestigate, but the vibe is very different than what Amani claimed.
Yes.
I do not think Shekinah should have sent that message. I think it's weird. But Amani's reaction was much more anti-trans in a way, I think, than Shekinah's question.
And like so unprompted, like Amani is like immediately like, oh my God, yeah, she is masculine and it's because she's Mexican. And oh my God, everyone's putting it out and I didn't see it before, but now I totally see it. And it's like Shekinah didn't even say all that. Like Shekinah's question wasn't appropriate, but like Shekinah wasn't like, Ani looks so manly. Is she trans? You know what I mean? She just asked, which again is inappropriate, but like it's so different from where Amani took it.
I know. Amani really escalated it. Very interesting.
I do have to say, I'm really interested in how, to me at least, in these DMs, she kind of came across as quite like level-headed and I'm scared to say it, but like a little mature.
Mm-hmm.
Unsurprisingly, it's very clear to me that like she understands how this show thing works. Like she's not like, oh, like she is saying like be authentic, but she's also like don't let the producers like give you the runaround and like don't like like stay true to yourself. Don't let people manipulate you and say stuff that like you don't mean or whatever. And I do respect that. I think that's how you have to go into being a reality TV star.
I agree. No, it really does not reflect well on Amani. Like it just. Also, I kind of agree with Shekinah, her being like, hey, sorry in advance for the shit I'm going to say. Like, it is kind of weird.
I totally agree. I would be very concerned by that message. Definitely.
Especially because I feel like she could have just been like, I just want to give you a heads up. Like, I ended up mentioning the trans comment to production, and I'm sorry I did, but, like, you know, it might come up. I don't know. I feel like but she had a very weird, like, deflecting way of talking about it. Also not being like, production digs up dirt?
I mean, that just felt like such a lie, right? I'm like, girl.
I know.
Because either she's acting stupid or she's genuinely stupid enough that she didn't know that. Like, what does she think she's doing?
I know. Just the production just, like, called her to chit-chat.
Like, what? And I do have to say, sorry to, like, step on your toes a little bit, but Shekinah and also I know Amani and Matt have all done reality TV before. Like, not to this level of, like, success or whatever. But these are not people who are plucked off the street who had no interest in being on TV. Like, all of them, like Matt and Amani were together on a show I saw clips from.
Yeah, I'll talk about that a little bit later too.
You know what reality TV is.
And you are like repeatedly opting in to be a part of it too. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Overall, Amani's vibe in these text messages was super fan to me.
Yeah, it was weird. Also so insecure, like doing too much, odd.
I mean, it's exactly what I think of Amani, so I was like, well, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Moving on to Sarper's information post-reunion. At the moment, his Instagram main grid is filled with these god-awful AI-generated posters for each stop of his current comedy tour, like across the U.S., which I'm going to in May. So excited.
I'm like, sorry, I'm just like so sad I can't come. Like, I actually like, I'm gonna have to like have a support group of just me. I also like don't want to be too offensive to whatever group of people this is, but so I was looking at Sarper's various AI slop like posters for his different shows. The venues he's playing at are the weirdest. Not the show at Magooby's Joke House.
Where is that?
Baltimore.
Oh, not Magooby. Is that like a cultural name? Sorry. Is that Italian?
Also, Joke House?
You know what? That's not that different from Laugh Factory. That's already a stupid ass name.
That is a stupid name, yeah. But,
Wait, dude. Okay. Sorry. So, okay, he's filled with these AI, as you said, AI slop posters. I have to say, though, they're so funny to me. Like, I actually love them so much. I want, like, a printed version. Sarper, please, I hope that you have these printed. I hate AI-generated images normally, but, like, these are so, like, camp to me. They're so funny that, like, I want, like, a printed version. I would literally put it on my wall. I put it literally behind me right
and
here.
there's just all of them. A coffee table book of all of his slop.
In March, Sarper appeared on KHON News, a TV channel in Hawaii, when he was there for one of his comedy shows, and I watched it on YouTube. He explained, I mean, it wasn't anything like super new, but he basically was like promoting his comedy show, and he explained that when he was on 90 Day Fiancé, people kept telling him he's so funny and he should do something with that professionally. And he said it was actually his dream when he was still in Turkey to be a stand-up comic, but he never tried it there. So he's trying it here in America. And at that point, you know, in March, which I guess was only a month ago, he said that he had headlined 120 shows. That's actually crazy.
Damn.
That's insane. I mean, they are small venues, but like, I don't know, to be a headliner of any kind, to be doing a world tour, good for him. It's like
120
crazy.
is a lot, yeah. Okay, Eras Tour.
Literally. And Sarper also mentioned that he graduated from 2 good universities in Turkey, and then he was a stripper for 8 years. And I'm like, you know what? Write a memoir at this point. I would read it. And I hope that in the back there's a list of every single woman you had sex with, because you said that you're keeping that list.
But then it's like just
it.
the length of the whole book.
That's the whole book. Okay. For a while in 2025, Sarper was doing workout events in LA called Boot Laugh. So like boot camp and like a comedy show, I guess. And okay, Sophie, I need you to I like need to show you this video. The audio quality is shit. So like, I'm really sorry. I'm gonna clip it in later. It's literally terrible, but like, it's so funny to me.
I'm really jealous already that I can't be attending.
I was seething with jealousy watching this. I could not fucking believe I wasn't there. And it doesn't seem he's doing them anymore. And I'm like, Sarper, literally bring that back. I would watch it so hard.
If he says in your first date, I talk with my mother twice per day on the phone. Run, Rose, run! Run. Mama's boy is coming, run!
Wait, I love this.
I love to cut wedding photos and dresses from the magazines. Run! Run! Girl, if he says, I'm a dominant guy, I'm an alpha male, run!
Yeah. Okay, self-referential. Okay.
Literally.
Girl, if he says, I'm not ready for a relationship, run!
This is actually killing me, bro.
We need to start a GoFundMe so that we can pay him to be our trainer full time.
I'm not kidding. Like, watching this, my first thought obviously was bring these back and also do it in New York, because I would be there every single week.
The way we would have 6 packs because we would be there every day.
I'm literally not kidding. That would be what gets me back into shape. I would be there so hard.
That would be my Tracy Anderson method.
Okay, That then led me to say, actually, Sarper, what you should be doing is filming these and selling them Jane Fonda style. I'm buying them. I would literally spend $100 on one. I'm not kidding. To support you.
I'm crying because I can't experience boot laugh. I need it.
I need it. Bring it back.
me getting rhabdo at boot laugh.
The way I would literally be like, Sarper, look at me. I can totally do a pull up and then my arms fall off. Like he's my celebrity, like for real. Oh my god, dream celebrity. Oh, dude, I have to meet him. I'm going to. I just remembered I'm doing the meet and greet.
The first word is meet.
I can't say anything. I'm so excited. I don't know. This is so embarrassing. The way I can't go with my husband because not like I'm like gonna flirt with Sarper. It's just like I can't let my husband see me in this like fangirling state. Like he would actually get the ick. Like this has to just be between me, my mom, and my sister. Like I can't let anyone else see me like that.
I fear we need to move on, but we could talk about them for 10 years.
So I'm gonna wrap up this section with just that they have a joint couple Instagram account that unfortunately is not active since June of last year, 2025, but they have some incredible content on there, such as the video I just showed you, the boot laugh stuff. And there were more videos of boot laugh. Like he did like a different, like this was a thing he was doing. And they have just like overall a bunch of amazing couples photos together and like little vlogs, including pictures like from their perspective of literal dates that they went on the season that we recapped, season 11. For example, earlier in the season, we had a podcast episode called Randomly Generated Sims that was a joke based off of their outfits in that episode we were recapping, where they looked like randomly generated Sims, and they literally have like selfies of them in those outfits that are so iconic. I highly recommend it. A scroll. It's called something like Sarper Shekinah 90 Day or whatever. Anyway, overall, it seems like they're most likely pretending to not be together so that they can get on the next spinoff of 90 Day, The Last Resort. And I will be watching that. I will be sat. In addition, other than like people just theorizing that like it seems like that's what's going on, people said that like Shekinah is always at his comedy shows and like they're very loved up and seem like very happy together. So people are not really buying it.
Interesting. What if she's there in New York?
Oh god, I have heard some people say that she hasn't been at recent ones, but again, maybe it's conspiracy, but people are like, I think it's like to build that narrative.
Got it.
But okay. God, I wish she's there. I hope so.
I will say, I did a politics deep dive on everybody.
Oh,
Shekinah, I could not find anything about because number one, she lives in California, which does not publish voter records publicly, but also she is the definition of apolitical on Instagram. She does not follow a single political page.
And that's exactly what I expected from her.
It's right. I mean, like, I really wouldn't expect anything else. So not a strong start, but I promise I have good politics information coming up.
You know, yeah, I actually see Shekinah exactly as someone where like you'd be like, who'd you vote for? And they'd be evasive, but not because they voted for Trump, but because they didn't vote for anyone. They're not even registered.
Yes, I can see that. I would love to take us over to Soaring Heights.
Take me there.
So Mark and Mina are very much still together.
Nice.
No additional children, it seems. But interestingly, in the reunion, they said they were living in Boston, but they have since moved to California.
Oh, whoa, that's a big move.
I don't know if they're still in California, but in September of last year, 2025, Mark posted something of like, should we stay in California or go back to New Hampshire? And mentioned that they still have the house in New Hampshire, which of course they do. And they did celebrate Christmas at the house in New Hampshire, it seems.
Interesting.
Mark posted a picture of the jacuzzi covered in snow. It was very ominous.
Ooh. Not like Santorini, huh?
No. So, don't know where they are, but it's interesting that they're seemingly no longer in Boston, that was like a really short thing, I guess. The worst thing about them is that Clayton is still not in the U.S. I mistakenly thought he was because I saw a picture of them together, and that they have seen him. They visited him in Europe, but he still doesn't have a passport. And like the other thing that's I forgot, but like we talked about this a bit, but like they can't just go back to France because Mina is not a French citizen either.
Oh, so like when she left, obviously she lost her residency, right?
Yeah, so she would like they'd have to reapply for French residency.
And that's already a headache. Like that's not
And
an
like
easy
in
thing.
doing so, to your point, give up her green card.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Oh my God, that's awful.
So it's just like a really terrible situation.
Oh, that's really actually bumming me out quite hard. And you know what? Maybe you're going to get into this, but in general, we tried to research just our own couples, but like I did look, and so many people are so fucking mean to Mina about the way that she acted on the season. And then I saw so many people in her Instagram comments and on Reddit being like, oh, these women like abandoning their children to be with their American men, like so disgusting, blah, blah. And I was like, I literally, I mean, it's just like disgusting, the judgment that people are putting on to Mina in this situation. Like, of course, I mean, from what we understand of the situation, I think that we both agree that like this was extremely poor planning. The parents did fuck up, like absolutely. But it's like as in they should have known. Why did they think that like he could just travel on her passport? That's like literally so stupid. They should have checked that, point blank, period. And they've really failed their child in that sense. However, it's like Mina on the season was sobbing constantly. She like literally wanted to go home. She didn't even want to get married. It was like clear that this is like tearing her apart. And it's like so disgusting to me that people are weaponizing this against her so much. It's like, it breaks my heart.
Also, like, not to mention that she has a child with Mark. So also Mark was not with his child as long as they were in France. So if they stayed in France, like, it's just a really bad situation. And I wish that they had figured it out a bit better with the legal aspect, but it's just a shitty set of circumstances. I feel so terrible for everyone.
Yes, absolutely. That's heartbreaking.
But lest you start to feel too bad for Mark, let's dive into his politics.
Oh, no.
Again, New Hampshire is a state that does not publish voter records, so I could not find his voter records, but I did find his Instagram following, which is very interesting, and I did also find that his daughter Jordan is a registered Republican in Florida.
Oop.
So is her fiance, by the way. So for Mark's politics, I went on to his Instagram to see who he was following, and it is interesting. I want our followers to know, like, I did this scientifically. I'm telling you every single political page he's following.
Okay.
And we can infer what it means based on this.
Sure.
Jill Biden.
Okay.
Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
Barack Obama. Joe Biden. Doug Emhoff. So those are all Democrats. Melania Trump. Turning Point USA. Megyn Kelly. Tulsi Gabbard. Donald Trump. Candace Owens. Mike Pence. JD Vance. Kristi Noem. Some actually insane conservative news page called Wake Up Right. Usha Vance. Which makes me think he just follows like the president and vice president for like news purposes. You know what I mean? But
some people do that.
Because like he's following former presidents, vice presidents, first ladies, second gentlemen. Like I feel like he just maybe followed all those pages and then just like, but like a lot of these I'm like Turning Point USA.
Yeah, that's not
like,
one you need to be following.
Kristi Noem.
Yeah.
And this is neither here nor there, but when I was looking for these political pages, I found a lot of pages he was following about interracial dating.
Ooh, okay, what kind of content?
Like, it would be like interracial couples, white man, black woman, like that kind of stuff. Yeah. And it's like, I don't really get the point of following those pages. Like, they didn't seem like, this is what I'll say. They didn't seem like community-oriented pages. It just was like pictures of couples.
Ew. So it wasn't like, oh, cultural differences between me and my friend or uncle. No, it was just pictures. It
was like those pages they just like repost. It's like tag for reposts, like those pages.
Yeah, and it's always like they're also so obsessed with like the mixed children as well, I find, in a really creepy way.
Probably.
That's not feeling good.
So it's not feeling great. Then I went... Also, there was a comment on one of his pictures. Let me find it. When he was talking about living in California, someone said, "My home state has been ruined, so I say, if you stay in Cali, help make it red again."
Oh.
And he didn't interact with that comment, but like the fact that someone said that,
I don't know, though. If he didn't interact, to be fair, people are commenting crazy shit on so many of these people's Instagrams.
I know. I just think it's interesting that he said, help make it red. Like, this person assumed.
Oh, okay.
No one would comment on our pages saying, help make it red. I mean...
yeah. That show would get deleted so quickly.
So then I went to see what Mina was following. Mm-hmm. Mina is following exactly 2 political pages.
Okay.
Melania Trump.
Whoa.
Candace Owens.
Eh?
And then this other one, like, so the way I was looking for political content was like, obviously if I knew the person was a politician, you know what I mean? But also in general, I was looking at pictures that like, typically it's like a person in a suit is the profile picture. And so anytime I saw like a person in a suit, I clicked on it. I will say a lot of these people follow a lot of like hustle content creators who sometimes have a similar vibe where it's like CEO, transform your life. Like almost all of them are following an insane amount of those.
Which I feel like in itself is Republican coded.
I agree. But she was following one page that I was like, oh, it could be a politician. I clicked on it. And it's a French guy.
Okay.
And again, like this is one page she's following. But like, sorry, this person was insane. He posted, I'm going to try to translate as I go. But he posted something about the 3 main monotheistic religions, Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, should not accept this grotesque, satanic, vulgar, and inappropriate spectacle of LGBTQ plus organizations.
What?
And I guess he's referring to like the government supports some LGBT, the French government supports some LGBTQ things, and he's saying it's like grotesque and inappropriate. It's like 3% of these individuals do not represent 97% of the French population. It is inadmissible for today's France to be involved with this extreme perversion. The history of France was built with real men. And then it's kind of funny. One of the real men he lists is Napoleon. I now understand why all Muslim countries and the president of Russia's federation are actively fighting such individuals who have bad influence on our children and the values of our country. Like, again, this is just the person she's following. I don't want to say... I'm just listing the facts. She's following this person.
I mean, the fact that she's following them and not like someone advocating for the opposite, as far as you could tell, is, I think, a statement.
Right. And again, like, it's just a random French page. But the fact is she's following him.
Not looking good.
So that's interesting. And then Jordan, Mark's daughter, who is a confirmed registered Republican, Florida Republican, is following Caroline Leavitt, Kai Trump, Candace Owens, Erica Kirk, and Charlie Kirk, which I feel like those are the ones you follow if you're like, politics are like so divisive. Like it's not like they like aren't like directly political. It's like she's not following Donald Trump, but she's following his press secretary and his granddaughter, and you know what I mean? Like it's kind of, that's the vibe. So what do we think about that?
I think they're Republicans is what I think.
I think so too.
And I think our discernment is spot on, because the way the reunion was tricking me into being like, oh my God, maybe Mark isn't that bad. But I'm like, no. We could smell something on him.
I'm also just like, I mean, I know people voting against their own interests is a tale as old as time. I mean, it's nothing new. But I'm like, you have Black immigrant children. Like, what the fuck? And wife. Yeah. Like, what
is wrong with you?
Anyway, but it revalidated my hatred of this man.
Yes. Fuck him. Fuck you, Mark.
So I also will note that I went on his aviation company page, and the only politician that he's following on there is Kamala Harris, but he did fly her. Remember there was a picture of them together? So maybe it's like he just followed her because she was a client at some point.
Yeah. Maybe he's a clout chaser. Maybe he's a clout chaser so bad he just like follows whoever's in power at that exact moment, and that's all he cares about.
I don't think so. I also guarantee if you asked him, like he also posted some shit by the way that was like, you know, it makes me so sad in this moment to see like the direction our country is going in. Like we all need to support each other. We all need to come together. Like generic platitudes, and I like
that don't mean
shit. You know
shit.
that type. They're always like, it shouldn't be all about politics, blah blah blah, and then they're like fucking.
But they're voting for Republicans.
Yeah.
And you're ruining people's lives and destroying human rights in this country. And it's like, no. But guys, you know, it's you guys are mean because you're mad at me. That's actually so him. Like that passive attitude he has. Yeah. It actually tracks 100%.
That's that.
Damn. Well, I still feel bad for Mina, but a little bit less.
Actually, you deserve it.
Well, I hope that Maria is smarter than the rest of her family when she grows up.
I hope so too.
Now we have Stevi and Mahdi, who I'm covering closer to the beginning because one of the things I was shocked to discover is people actually really care about this couple. That was like shocking to me. First of all, people online were thirsting over Mahdi hard, surprising to me personally. Not because I don't think that he's like an objectively attractive person, but I realized like the concept of thirsting over anyone on this show feels so crazy to me because I feel like it's the least sexy show ever.
I agree.
Like, as soon as someone's on the show, I'm like, oh, they're automatically unattractive to me. Just like the concept of it.
Also, they all gave us the ick, so that's also like part of it. I'm surprised anyone didn't get the ick, but okay.
So overall, Stevi and Mahdi are seemingly doing well. They're still together and seemingly still in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, which is, I don't know if that's for the best, but I'll get into some details on that. For their jobs, it seems that Stevi, I mean, both of them are kind of like, you know, everyone on this cast is basically trying to be an influencer to varying degrees, so you can just assume that for everyone. But Stevi is like still an artist / influencer, and Mahdi is a certified personal trainer in America. He got that certification, which is great, and like a health influencer.
I like went on his personal training page and was ready to be like, what stupid shit is he saying? And like his advice was kind of good and sound, and I was like, damn.
Like supportive and actually.
Yeah, like he had this one post that was like, it was like foods to skip on Thanksgiving to avoid weight gain or something, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be rich. And then it was like, nothing, don't skip any foods, it's just one day and you should eat the foods you like. And I was like,
damn, it's actually like really good advice and like healthy.
And also he got me with the clickbait too, you know what I mean? I was like,
yeah,
damn.
Threw him a like. That's a good one. So Stevi and Mahdi bought a house together this past winter.
Oh.
They moved at they moved at like Christmas time.
In Hattiesburg still?
Yeah, at least in the same area. I don't know if it's literally in Hattiesburg, but like someone asked if they relocate and they're like, no, just to a different place. And it looks like kind of like a modern like apartment, I think.
Okay.
They said it's like a big upgrade. They're really happy. And kind of the main thing that I found in my deep dives was that Stevi has been posting a lot about her dad's health on Instagram. And it seems that Perry is really not doing well. In January, Stevi posted that her dad was admitted full-time to a hospital awaiting a lung transplant. I don't think he's received the lung transplant as far as I could tell because he's still in the hospital. And last month in March, she posted a picture of Perry in a hospital bed saying that he had a serious infection that needed surgery. And it was a successful surgery, but the doctors had to amputate his left foot and one toe.
I didn't realize, because I did try not to look too much at the couples that like I wasn't gonna be doing.
Yeah.
I just saw her being like, he needs a transplant. I missed the amputation.
Yeah, it was really deep in the caption. I feel so bad. Like, it's horrible. He has pulmonary fibrosis, she said. I don't know much about that disease, but I don't know. It's really sad. I feel really bad for her. So at first I was kind of judging that they hadn't left Hattiesburg because I was like, well, why buy a house if it's in this same fuck-ass town? But then her dad, I forgot. Her dad is really sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she probably doesn't want to go far, which makes sense. So it was just sad to see.
Did you get a chance to look at like her various highlights on her page? Story highlights?
Not that I remember.
Because I saw one that she posted that was like justifying her being an English teacher. And she was basically saying like she is not like a English teacher in the traditional sense, but she like teaches people who already speak English like regional slang.
Okay, so like a useless teacher.
Like she's like teaching them how to say like y'all. That's why they're talking about like hump day and like stuff like that.
Okay, so you know what? Side hustle. Maybe I could do that too. That sounds like it's okay. It's like a conversational. Like basically, you're not teaching, but you're just like charging people to practice conversing. Which I mean, that is a part of language acquisition.
Yeah, and it sounds like Matthew like already spoke fluent English when they met, and like she just helped him with like Southern dialect, I guess.
Okay. Period.
It's just kind of interesting. She was like presented as an English teacher. You know what I mean? Like I think it's a bit different, but.
For sure. I did notice overall, like in some posts or like maybe I watched some of the highlights on her page, like definitely a vibe of like defending her relationship with Mahdi. Like I definitely feel that people, number one, seemed more interested in this couple than I expected, but I think that she got a lot of like feedback of like, how dare you be bisexual, bitch, you know? And then like
it's possible. All
this shit. I mean, unsurprisingly, I think that people were harsher on the woman in this situation when it just seems so clear to me that the two of them are incompatible. It's not her fault. But anyway. But there's just this air of like defending, like, no, we're perfect together. You guys don't know. And like all of her captions are always like poems. So it's just that kind of vibe.
Yeah. I just was like looking. She has this like highlight of just like Q&As, which is where I found the stuff about being an English teacher. But this is one. Someone said, "How's your dad doing?" And she said, "Dad called me earlier and said, y'all be praying for him. He's on the way to the hospital because he's bleeding so bad today. Bleeding red, white, and blue."
Girl, what the hell?
What? Is that your dialect?
That might be a good transition into Sophie. Did you do a deep dive on their political affiliations?
Did I ever? So, first of all, I will say I was able to do an extremely deep dive and be very successful in finding out, like, information that's not relevant, but I just want credit for it. Like, I know their addresses. I know the name of Stevie's ex-husband, even though she doesn't post her legal last name on, like, I found everything. I'm not going to dox them.
It's actually such a good reminder of, like, what people can find on you, like, for your own safety. Like, luckily, we're not going to do anything with it, but, like, guys, like, be careful what you put out there. It's pretty easy to find.
I was able to find their voting records. They do not have a party affiliation listed, unfortunately. But I will say our guy Perry is a very active voter, and I was like, I gotta get to the bottom of this because I know in my heart he's a fucking MAGA Trumpy, but Phaedra is like, we shouldn't assume. So I went on his Instagram. I found his Instagram, and I would like to read you the following pages that he's following, and you can tell me what you think. These are the entirety of the political pages he's following.
I'm so scared.
Melania Trump, Charlie Kirk, Caroline Levitt, Turning Point USA, Megyn Kelly, Donald Trump,
There it is.
CPAC, Ben Shapiro. Do you have anything you'd like to say to me?
Sophie, we can't assume anything, and sometimes people
What if the nurse, the surgeon took his phone during the amputation, they followed all those pages?
Yikes. Dude, okay, I was expecting you to be like, actually, he campaigned for Kamala in 2025.
Well, I had to leave an air of mystery so you wouldn't know, but I just want the validation because you know what?
We knew it.
We have to stay vigilant. This is the thing this show is going to test us with. We are going to be presented with people who are like little cuties.
Yeah.
We got to stay on, we got to keep our politics in the forefront.
Yes.
You know, other people are saying, let's put our politics in the back. No, we got to remember, like, these people don't want us and many other people to have rights.
Yeah. They want me to be arrested for getting birth control for my endometriosis, for real.
Unfortunately, yes. And it's just...
It doesn't matter that he's 5'2" and adorable in a little suit.
That guy, let me tell you, he votes.
Tough stuff. Fuck you, Perry. I hate you again. It's gonna make you wear a jihad. That's when we knew. Come on. Like, why did I let myself get pulled around? Yeah, overall, I'd say about Stevi and Mahdi specifically, unsurprisingly, they're kind of boring, but overall seem happy and like, I don't know, they're not really starting shit. I mean, I don't believe in this couple long term, but I guess it's fine.
Well, I feel like maybe they're getting better because they're like actually getting to know each other. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that was a lot of the issue was like they didn't know each other. So it's like, okay, maybe now they've spent more time together. It could have gone either way. You know what I mean? But
true.
Okay.
And maybe Mahdi started watching like lesbian porn and he's like, oh, this isn't too bad.
We can only hope. Yeah. We don't have this in Iran. That I believe. The throuple, I have to say, were really difficult for me to report on because I just kept hitting a wall in terms of how much I don't care about them. You know, and like there's so much on Reddit about like this person unfollowed that person and then refollowed that, and I'm like, oh god,
yeah, there's clearly like shit that happened that for us is hard to like, it's kind of overwhelming to like figure out exactly the order of things, so I get it.
So first things first, it's not clear if they're still together, the throuple.
Yeah, okay.
Matt posted a set of photos of them in December 2025.
Okay.
And a lot of them I think were kind of throwback pictures, but it was still like he posted it then and it was like a co-posted with all three of them. You know what I mean? Like people have suspected that they've broken up, but it's like not 100% clear. Apparently at some point Ani had unfollowed both of them, but now she is following a Mini but not Matt.
What?
Which is kind of confusing. And people have also pointed out that divorce records in California are public and these two have not actually gone through with filing for divorce.
Interesting, because at the reunion they were like, oh yeah, like we like have a divorce lawyer.
Yeah, but maybe they didn't go through with it. So I don't know where they're at. It seems like they're not together, but it's kind of like Sarper and Shekinah where it's like all I can go off of is like Reddit detectives, so I don't know.
And maybe they're in talks to be on another show or even filming right now, so that's why it's not on Instagram.
I would not put it past them. Amani has reversed many of her plastic surgeries, so she looks like herself again.
I saw that and I was really happy to see that. I was really impressed too. I'm like, how did they do that? Like to her nose? Her nose looks totally fine now. Thank God. And you don't think that was just a filter situation? Like you feel like it actually looks better?
I think so. I mean, in a lot of pictures, and plus she even said, she's like, yeah, I'm so happy I look like myself again. Like, so.
Whatever surgeon fixed that is who people should go to.
I agree.
Yeah.
Apparently they've had multiple like meltdowns on Instagram live and stories, etc.
Perfect.
Like
meaning all three of them, or
at least Amani and Matt.
Okay.
They've both posted a lot of like, or at least Amani's posted a lot of like screenshots, including screenshots of like Matt talking to another woman, like an OnlyFans model maybe, and like complaining about Amani to her. What? And then Amani was, I don't even know. Like I know this is bad journalism, but like I so deeply don't care at this point. Like,
well, because it's a lot of like fighting and then no one's breaking up, so it's hard to like care about each individual
like
fight.
they have like lovey-dovey posts recently on Instagram, like at least Matt and Amani. So it's like, okay,
people will have like lovey-dovey posts up to a week before their divorce, so it's like that really doesn't mean much.
It seems like Amani was kind of trying to like almost form an alliance with Ani against Matt, but like it doesn't seem like that's worked. So I really don't know.
That's so funny.
Some interesting just like background information about them. Matt has an adult child, seemingly.
What?
From like maybe a different relationship.
Wait, how old would he have been?
At the time of posting about this, like that I saw, the child was 19.
Wait, how old is Matt?
He was 36 or 37 when they did the show, so he was probably, I don't know, like 38 or something. So if he had the kid when he was 19.
Okay.
And he met Amani when he was like 25.
Huh. Okay.
Just interesting.
It is interesting.
These two, as you alluded to, they were previously on a Netflix show called How to Get Rich. Mm-hmm. And that show discussed their financial situation quite in depth. And I guess on that show, it was revealed that Amani is the sole breadwinner in the family. Yes. Matt is a stay-at-home dad.
Interesting, because I got the impression that they were both boss babes.
Well, where I find that interesting is that they were going to divorce, then Matt was going to marry Ani. But Amani would be bankrolling both of them still.
Oh yeah, financially, how would that even work?
It seems just like fragile, you know? And someone actually on Reddit had a theory, which I think is a little far-fetched, but it is interesting, that like Amani is masterminding this whole thing to basically trick Matt into divorcing on like amicable terms, where maybe he would like not be, I don't know, smart enough to insist on alimony or whatever. And then this seems a little far-fetched to me, but I just thought it was an interesting theory, so I'm putting it out there.
Yeah. I feel like so much of this couple makes no sense. So it's like, well, anything that could lead to a theory that makes sense is welcome.
Also, literally everyone was like, there's no way Ani's rent in Mexico is $2K, or it's certainly not $4K. So like they're definitely just giving her money. And like,
she must have a great lifestyle with that kind of money in like Guadalajara. Can you fucking imagine? She's big balling.
I know. And also people were like, Ani's definitely not even into women. She's just like,
yes,
doing whatever she needs to.
I mean, she's a sex worker. I think that's what's going on here, and it's very clear. Or even if she's into women, I don't think she's into Amani, and I wouldn't be surprised if she's not into women. No.
When it comes to the politics, again, they're in California, so I couldn't find voter records. I found Matt's full legal name and some previous addresses of his, which I was hoping I could like triangulate into voter records from states that do have the records online, but I wasn't successful. Amani follows exactly 3 political pages on Instagram.
Okay.
What's your guess?
I mean, if she weren't queer, I would think she's 100% a Republican. The queerness and how much she was like, it came out multiple times, like she doesn't want to be put back in the closet and like blah, blah, blah. However, she's shown her transphobia in that conversation with Shekinah that we talked about earlier. So honestly, overall, I see her being like a Republican who's like, yeah, but those policies, they don't actually mean that when it comes to like the anti-gay people stuff. That's what I think. It's like this cognitive dissonance.
Let me tell you the 3 people. Zoran Mamdani.
What?
Ted Lieu.
Great.
And the politics girl. I don't know if you saw this. Like, there was this one news clip that went viral recently of this woman, like, slamming into a Republican for, like, kind of laughing off the Epstein files.
Yes. A white woman, right?
Yeah.
Yes. I saw that. So that's who she follows?
So she's following that woman. Okay. Those are the three.
Period, Amani.
So I'm like, okay, I don't agree with you about anything else, but
that's a slay. Thank you.
Yeah, but we can appreciate, you know, an ally.
Amani, and I'm really not just saying this because I realize that we seem to align politically. I have said this previously. Like, I think she is in many ways acting badly, and like to the point where I'm like, I think I've called her a bad person, and I'm like, yeah, because she's like consistently being like cruel and mean and like unstable. And that last word I think is so key, is like, I'm not going to claim to like diagnose her with something or anything like that, but like I do feel that there's stuff going on with her mentally, and I feel bad for her. I don't like the way that she like treats people. I think it's unacceptable, but I think it's pretty clear that like she needs help of some kind, and at the end of the day, like I do just feel empathy for that, and I feel bad for her. So
I agree.
Like, more than anything, like with anyone on the show who I dislike, like at the end of the day, I would love for them to like become better people. Like, and if they did, I would be very welcome to like being supportive of them. I never want it to seem like I feel like people are just one way and that's just how they are. And it, you know, if you act badly, it means that that's a permanent thing about you. So I absolutely don't think that about Amani. Everything I think we've said, I do stand behind, but you know, I feel bad for her. Like I look at her and I'm like, oh my God, it's such like a deeply insecure, stressed out, sad person who pushes people away from her and doesn't know how to form healthy bonds and like maintain them. And I think that it's clear that like that's eating away at her as time goes on, and she looks like a very unhappy person, and it makes me sad to see.
I agree. That's all. I mean, there's more to say about the throuple, but like I swear to God, I'm like burnt out from them. Like
That's okay.
I just don't think they're interesting. Like they're just like three fucked up people, and I don't like I don't know.
I agree. Oh wait, anything about the live streams? Like exactly what she was crashing out about?
One of the topics was like Matt is talking to other women. So she said in this, I guess, reels that she posted that she's worth $5 million and earned all of that in 10 years. That she found texts of Matt talking to some girl named Ashley, and they were like talking shit about Amani.
The fuck?
And I did see the screenshots, and that's where like he was like complaining about Amani, and and Ashley's like, she shouldn't treat you like that. Like that's like kind of the conversation.
Ew.
Also sexts.
Shocking.
Apparently Amani wanted a foursome for her birthday. Also apparently Amani asked Matt if she could date girls separately, and he said no.
Damn.
And then I guess also at some point Amani said she's a 10 and quote, even 10s can be cheated on.
I mean, we know that girl. We all heard Lemonade.
So true. And then I guess like Ani was supporting her emotionally during this time, so she was like thanking Ani for being a girl's girl. And then like Matt went and did it live, and he just like looked like shit and was like crying and stuff.
Oh my God, what is wrong with these people? I am interested to see like over the course of time, just simply like if Matt and Amani stay together. So like, you know, I don't know. I think I'll keep tabs, but I don't know. I could see it going in a number of directions, but I certainly think that Ani is not going to be someone who stays in either of their lives for much longer.
I agree.
So now we have Jessica and Juan, who are still together and seemingly still in Torrington, Wyoming. They are both travel agents now, which is interesting.
I mean, I think it's a good pivot, honestly.
Yeah, it's not that crazy. The one thing is, in general, I'm like, I don't know if like travel agents really have a great like career future in today's day and age. So on their social media, they have links to like, you know, hey, if you want to use me as a travel agent, fill out this form. So obviously I did. And
you're going on a trip with them.
That's what I'm saying. If it's anything like that weird guy on my vacation, maybe Juan and Jessica will be there with me. Well, I get a text. It says, "Hi, Phaedra. This is Juan." And it's from a phone number. First of all, it's so ChatGPT. It's killing me.
That is a long ass text. Just from the paragraph structure alone, I know it's ChatGPT. Okay.
Yes. That said, whatever. I'm not hating. But basically, it's like, what destinations would you like to visit? And like basically asking you this stuff. He does say that one of the options on the form was like what kind of cruise do you want to do? I guess he only puts together cruise ones. And one of the options was a reality TV cruise. And I was like, what the fuck? So obviously that's the only one I selected. And in the like note box, I was like, oh my God, would love something 90-day themed if that's possible, obviously, haha. And apparently the only reality TV cruise that's a thing is like some Big Brother one. I'm like, obviously I don't want to do that shit.
Ew, a Big Brother cruise? They just have a camera in your room?
I think it's like, I don't know, they go to talks about Big Brother. I think it's like you're on Big Brother. That's actually
Big Brother's
so funny.
Watching. That's your third plate at the buffet.
But you know what? Actually, he might not only do cruises. I might be remembering that wrong. Sorry for the slander. But he says that Jess and I put together a special group cruise on Utopia of the Seas sailing out of Port Canaveral in February 2027, if you'd like to check that out. Have no idea what that is.
Canaveral, by the way.
Sorry.
Canaveral.
Sorry.
It's in
Canaveral.
Florida.
Port Canaveral. Whatever. You know what? I don't respect Florida, so I'm not going to get it right. Fuck you, Florida. Anyway, I'm literally gagged by the fact that I seemingly got a text from Juan, and I won't be abusing my power, but it was really exciting.
But if you text him, he'll respond. We know this because we know he responds to his DMs. So
I send him a titty pic.
Hey, which cruise do you think I should go on now?
Will you be there with me in my cabin?
Does this change anything?
So anyway, I think that that's a really good, like, as you said, career pivot for both of them. And I wonder if they are both travel agents so that they can like travel together. I didn't realize that like travel agents would also be traveling. I thought they're just kind of.
I don't think they do normally. I think they normally are in the office.
I mean, my interaction with that person on my vacation is changing my whole perspective on travel agents. But like, I will say though, the thing that's making me say that, aside from that, is that their Instagrams are like exclusively them somewhere else, like on a beach, on a cruise. Like they've been traveling, or at least they did travel, and like that's their only content that they've been posting for like the last half of a year at least. And it was to the point where I was like, do these people, like, are they living on a cruise ship? Like, are the children going to school? Like, what is the vibe here? And so I think that they still live in Torrington, Wyoming, because I actually made a post on Reddit asking if people knew. And basically no one knew for certain, but people were responding very confidently that they still lived in Torrington, because I think it's just we haven't heard otherwise. And, excuse me.
Also, she did say something to the effect of, like, because her other boy's dad lives there, she can't really move away. So
yes, I think that's what's going on. So it seems like this is a good compromise, at least for now, for them, you know, for Juan to not be stuck in that fuck-ass town. But again, I mean, I think long-term, I worry about, like, you know, the logistics of the situation, because how long can you be traveling every year together if you have these two boys at home and you're
3 boys?
No, but I think that they have the little boy with
Yeah.
them on the cruise, and then they leave the other one. They leave the other two with their dad. So I just, you know, I worry about that logistically. But it seems like they're having a good time now. Jessica herself is like, honestly, the two of them, they don't have really big follower accounts, but they get a lot of engagement, like on TikTok even. I did note that Jessica has a video that has like 2 million views or something.
Really?
Yeah.
What's it a video of?
Honestly, it's from 2023, so I think before the show even came out. But it's like, let me literally pull it up. It was something like travel related. It was like something about like, it was like her like flopping around in the Amazon River, and then it was like something. Don't think it was literally, but it was like an audio that was like ominous, or like, oh, I shouldn't have been doing that, or whatever. And so it's like all the people being like, oh my God, you were so close to danger and whatever. But it got a lot of views, and it's interesting to me that she was getting that kind of interaction before this season even came out. So like, I wonder if that's part of why she wasn't so stressed, that she's like, we're literally going to be influencers. You know, she already had some like confidence about that ability.
It's possible.
So other than that, like, honestly, the two of them, their collaborative and like respective social medias were like pretty like engaging. Like it was kind of like, you know, travel vibes. And before that, it was a lot more like couples content. And like they used like very like trending, like a lot of like audios, like trending audios on like TikTok and stuff. And in a way that felt actually quite, what's the word? Adept? Is that what I'm looking for? Like, I feel like they kind of know social media in a way that I was a little surprised by. And I'm happy to see that. I felt like if anyone's going to be influencers, it might be them, actually. Anyway, so good luck to them. I kind of doubt it long term, but they seem happy for now.
Yes. And we always said they're at their best when they're traveling. So if they're traveling, then, good for them.
Yeah.
I'm very happy to report that Jessica is a registered Democrat.
No way.
Yeah.
What?
The only one I could confirm through voter records. Mm-hmm.
Wow. I'm genuinely shocked by that.
I know. I was, oh,
Okay, Queen. I mean, any of these people in international relationships and then interracial on top of it, I'm like, you fucking better be. But like the vast majority seem to not be. So
I know.
Slay. Okay, Jessica.
Interestingly, Herbie, legal name Herbert.
Shocking. Wait, describe who that is. People might not remember.
People know Herbie, Megan's husband, aka Juan's VFF, who got completely shit-faced at the bachelor party.
Guys, if you don't know Herbie, honestly, stop listening right now. You're not
You
really
haven't been listening, so okay. Herbie. Okay, I guess I knew it was short, but like I'm kind of gagged that it's short for Herbert.
What did you think it was short for, though?
I just didn't think it was short. I just didn't think about it.
It was short for
Herbert. I'm like, oh yeah. Herbie is running for sheriff of their county as a Republican.
How can you
So I knew he was
run for
Republican.
sheriff? Isn't it just a promotion you get?
No, I think sheriff is elected.
What?
Mm-hmm.
I'm proud that I don't know anything about cops.
Sorry. Obviously he's Republican. He's running as Republican. Megan is also a registered Republican.
Yikes. That's why she's
is
too up in other
interesting.
people's business.
Well, it's just interesting because like one other thing I found is like Jessica and Megan had like a joint Instagram page for just like their friendship. They haven't posted on it in a while, but like they're so close. I can't imagine being that close to someone who was a Republican. Sorry.
Also, sorry, I wouldn't ever make a joint friendship account. I think already making a couple's account is too far. Can you imagine doing that with your friend? That's weird as fuck.
I do. In general, this is one thing I think is really funny is people who try to like brand their friendships a little too much. You know, like
shit about you guys. Oh my god.
They're like, that's so us. It's classic Phaedra and Sophie drinking 3 margaritas. You know what I mean? You're like, okay, whatever.
Okay.
Like,
actually, are we total hypocrites? Because to be fair, is this podcast
because
just a joint?
No, because there's a topic. It's just us yapping about like our friendship. That's so us.
Yeah, exactly. But that is so us.
I have a little bit about Greg and Joan to share.
Please.
Greg appears to still have his state job.
And are we sure it's the same one that he had that he got on the show?
Well, I don't know if it's the same one, but at some point someone mentioned that his state job, because he mentioned something about like maintenance and stuff, and someone said it was something to do with like helicopters. And not the helicopters themselves, but like something to do with like the hangars or like kind of like maintenance and logistics around helicopters.
Okay.
And then just like 3 days ago, I saw him post a story of like him like mopping a hangar with a bunch of helicopters. So
Period.
if it's not the exact same job, then it's still like a facilities maintenance job with the New York State. So it's...
Got it. Okay, but he's got a job. God bless.
It seems like these might still live with Lucille. I haven't seen anything to the contrary.
No. What?
I don't know. I looked it up. I didn't find anything about them moving out or whatever. I don't know. Greg's voter registration is still at his mom's address. Okay. That being said, he hasn't voted since 2010.
Girl, what?
So I don't know if he didn't update it or whatever. That being said, maybe it's a good thing he hasn't voted since 2010 because he's a registered Republican.
What?
And Lucille is also a registered Republican, and she is a regular voter.
Lucille, you dumb bitch.
And let's talk about this. Greg follows exactly one political page.
Is it RFK?
No.
Vance.
It's Charlie Kirk. Following Charlie Kirk, there's something so insidious because it's like, I just believe in free. I just love how he debates and blah, blah, you know, and it's like
He's a family man.
You know, it's like no, like his beliefs are openly terrible.
See, they know that and they like it. Yeah.
But people tend to hide behind this thing of like it's just about free speech or like whatever. A very specific type of person who follows only Charlie Kirk. Like
Yes.
I'm sure if you asked him about his politics, he'd be kind of vague and be like, "Oh, I don't know." You know what I mean? Like like the people who came out, the people who never ever post about politics ever. And then when Charlie Kirk died, they're like, I just think it's a shame. We shouldn't be assassinating people based on their beliefs. And it's like, okay, It's also like, it's worth noting that this is the topic that pulled you out of your hibernation of, you know, like that you never posted about politics, but now you have to. I'm like, I don't know. I feel like there were other things you could also post it about, but he never struck me as like really MAGA, but I don't know. So that's kind of a bummer. But I will say Greg's accounts that he's following on Instagram, probably 85% sourdough related. It's like sourdough Sally, and then it's like Charlie Kirk, and then it's like Mama Sourdough. It's like,
and for me, sourdough feels so leftist. Like, how can you, like, literally, sorry, how can you make bread and be a Republican? That doesn't make sense to me.
But trad wives.
You know they're not making sourdough. You know? Are they? Or is that all they're making? Oh,
That's all they're doing is making bread from scratch because, like, God forbid, you know, they eat something processed.
This shows my stupid little bubble from California because I think sourdough and I think gay because I think San Francisco.
Well, it's like what in Germany, what we talked about up front, that the cat supporting the catfish is left, supporting the whale is right. I mean,
fuck. So what do you think the left bread would be? Croissant.
It's so difficult to say because I feel like horseshoe theory applies to bread too, you know?
Yeah.
On either end of the spectrum, you're living in a little cabin and you're making your own sourdough, you know, like.
Damn, the most leftist thing at this point is to get white bread from the store. I don't know. I'm so confused. That felt so Republican to me growing up.
I know. Anyway, I will say Joan crocheted some really cute little tiny chickens and she like put them in the chicken coop.
Really cute. Guys, go watch that video. It's adorable. She's been crocheting a lot in general, right? Like she's like crocheting little like tops and stuff and selling them, I think.
Yeah. But then I'm like, ooh, putting them in Lucille's chicken coop for staging. That's giving I live with Lucille, you know?
It is giving that. If they still live with Lucille, that's like, honestly, if I were her, I would have divorced her. Divorced him. Oh, divorced her, Freudian slip.
I know.
Because at this point, I'm sorry, they have enough money to rent somewhere. I swear to God, Greg is just convincing Joan, like, no, baby, let's just, like, hold on just a little bit longer. We're going to save up money to buy a place. And it's like, no, you're not. You're not.
I think that one exchange of the tell-all is everything. Lucille's like, oh, there's a trailer park near your work. Like, what if you bought something there as a starter place?
Yeah.
And he's like, I prefer a condo or a co-op.
Yeah. Yeah. He's so like just idealistic. It's like, well, it's not quite what I want to do. It's like, well,
you know,
that's not what it's about.
Central Park would be great.
Yeah, actually, because I feel like if he got enough money for a condo or co-op, he'd be like, actually, a standalone single-family home is what I want. And then it's just like delay, because he likes living with his mom.
I know.
Well, good luck to them.
To quote Sarper's boot laugh, Mama's boy, run.
Joan, listen.
Go to boot laugh and bring us.
Rounding this all out, we've got Shawn and Alliya. So they are together, ? We'll get into it. And they also, ? seem to still live in LA. There's a lot of confusion with these two. A lot is unclear. So they went to Las Vegas on their 1-year wedding anniversary, which I thought was funny because we called them Very Vegas in one of our episodes because of their wedding outfits. On Reddit, there seems to be a general consensus that I hate so much that Alliya is the bad guy for being late to the wedding. And, like, I think it's unsaid by a lot of people, but I get the vibe that it's like she's also the bad guy for transitioning. Yeah, basically. And I'm like, okay, it's actually Shawn's fault for being with a woman when he's not attracted to them, but whatever. And then also the consensus is that Shawn's the victim in everything. And she's such a good guy.
Do you know, I literally had a thought today in the shower. I was thinking about this show, and I realized Shawn biologically could be Aliyah's grandpa age-wise.
Yeah, he could be her great-grandpa.
No, I don't. Well, I think it's pushing biology a bit. If you adopt it, no, like, but if he had a kid at like 18 and then his kid had a kid at 18, that would be Alliya.
It's disgusting. Okay, so getting into updates per person. Shawn, in August of last year, well, assume it was Shawn, whatever, listed his house for rental for over $7,000 a month. It is a beautiful home in West Hollywood, though, to be fair. And which is confusing to me because they seem to be living there together now. So I'm like, I don't know what that was about, but whatever. I don't know if anyone moved in or if he just... Yeah, and I don't know if anyone actually rented or if he just, I don't know, changed his mind. I'm not sure, but it was interesting. Shawn grew out his hair, which isn't really important, but I think is interesting. And Shawn seems to be doing the most, like, collaborative social media videos with the cast.
I did notice that. He was on everyone's page.
Everyone. And he's just like in general super into the social media of it all, like the influencer career path. And I do have to say, if I didn't dislike him so much, I would enjoy his content maybe the most, because he is very good at it.
I struggle with this because, like, also I couldn't find his politics, obviously, because he's in California, but like from what I could glean, he's also Democrat. And I'm like, I like your politics, I like your content, you seem to actually have like a fun spirit, but I'm like, you're a creepy grandpa. Like, why are you with this like super young person that you're mean to? Like,
yeah, I think his attitude is also like, he's shown himself on the show to be a terrible partner, like mean and demeaning to Alliya and unsupportive in many ways, and also a terrible friend. Like, he had no friends that were genuine or deep in any way. So it's like kind of this like surface level thing that looks good on social media, because it's like he has a lot of people that he knows and is friendly with, but it's like that doesn't actually mean shit with the way that he's lived his life and developed his friendships. He doesn't have any. He lives an incredibly shallow, meaningless life.
And it's harsh, but it's true. I mean, it's just interesting. Like, he's one, I guess he is like the opposite of Perry, you know, or like, no, actually similar to Perry, opposite beliefs, but where it's like, we know something core that we really find horrible about like their value system or like how they show up in the world. But then we're like, oh, but you were charming. You know what I mean? It's like, we gotta stay vigilant.
The only time we let ourselves get loose with that is with Sarper, and I don't want to hear anything about it.
He's our special little boy. Okay.
Yeah. We get very boy mom about Sarper. I will say also, last summer, Shawn was selling shirts that say "Protect the Dolls."
Okay.
I actually didn't love that because I was like, that's so performative.
It's hypocritical. Yeah. No.
I don't know.
Right.
I felt weird about it because, of course, I like people being openly supportive of trans people, and especially trans women, the most like vulnerable group ever. However, it's like, you're not walking the walk in your personal life, in my opinion.
No, you're right.
You are and you aren't. I mean, he's complicated. I don't want to present it as if it's too black and white, but I think it's a little gross to be ostensibly profiting off of that, as far as I can tell.
I feel complicated about it. I actually do really agree that like it is annoying for people to act like they're, you know, like the best allies ever when they're not. But I feel like there's a complexity with Shawn where it's like, I don't know how transphobic he is on a broader level, but he's very transphobic in his relationship because he's angry that his partner transitioned, and he expresses that in really transphobic ways.
Yes.
I'm not saying it's transphobic to be upset that your partner transitioned, because you can just break up with him and that's fine. But the way he's like, you know, to reiterate, dead naming her, always talking about how he won't love her anymore if she gets bottom surgery, talking about how the person he fell in love with is dead, all this stuff. Obviously that is really upsetting, but somehow that's not completely at odds in my brain with being supportive of the community as a whole. I think it's a bit NIMBY. So NIMBY stands for not in my backyard. And it's just this thing where people support things, but then they don't want them in their space. So, for example, like...
affordable housing. Yeah,
affordable housing, for example. They'll be like, oh, I totally support it. Oh, but you're going to build it in my community. I don't want it here. There's tons of topics where people feel this way. And I feel a little bit like that, where he's like, of course I support trans people. I just don't want my partner to transition.
Like, I respect it, but not if it's in my home.
Yeah, not in my relationship. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, I guess the thing, though, to kind of go against that would be, we don't know that he wouldn't be willing to be with a trans partner. The problem, I think, is that he hasn't been honest about the fact that he's just not attracted to her because she's a woman. Like, he's always been attracted to men. So it's like, we can't concretely say that he wouldn't be with like a trans man, for example. You know, do you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I don't know if we can fully say that.
But I mean, I agree. I think if you're being NIMBY about something, you don't truly support that thing, and therefore you shouldn't be like acting like you are really an ally.
Yeah, I guess thinking about this now, I'm like, am I taking it too far in the sense that, like, am I coming down on Shawn? I think fairly hard about the way that he's been treating his intimate partner, like, respect-wise. And of course that's related to her being transgender. That said, is this almost like in-group fighting that we on the left tend to do, that's like, in the end, actually arguably to our downfall, where he is fundamentally on our side, and yet like am I finding huge issues with like the parts where he does, I think, fail? But it's like, if overall he has shown himself to be someone who is on the side of the trans community and a supporter, and okay, in ways is supportive of Alliya, right? Like, as far as we can tell, he is paying for her surgeries. He is doing things that concretely, like he's bringing her to the US, which she's expressed is like helpful for her on this journey and with her life in general. It allows her to live openly as a trans person. So it's like, is it honestly like wrong of me to like discount that almost completely just because like of the flaws that he does have that are almost like more interpersonal flaws rather than like purely just transphobia? I don't know. I'm working through it real time.
No, I think it's a really good and important question. I mean, I'm looking at the ways like a lot of people have approached this topic on the show, and like sadly, Shawn is one of the better ones, you know?
Yeah.
I will not budge on my criticism of how he shows up in his relationship. I don't think he treats Alliya with respect.
Yes, I agree.
I don't need to list them all again, but you know, we've listed a million times the things he's done that are hurtful, and I don't think that's kind or appropriate or helpful. But I do find myself willing to offer some grace if he is showing up in a better way for the community as a whole. You know, like I want to give credit where credit's due, but I also don't want to give too much credit in the way that like people on the show are like, you're her transition angel. Like, no, I don't think that.
This like savior bullshit too that I actually think is like harmful.
I don't know. I guess I'm hesitant to criticize him, his advocacy, although I of course also acknowledge the hypocrisy of like him not treating his trans partner with respect.
Yeah.
But I do find myself, I guess, hesitant to your point, alienate anybody who's posting about protecting the dolls in this day and age where any allyship is kind of needed, you know?
Yeah. It's complicated. And I think I wanted to like acknowledge that it's complicated. I don't want to come across as like it's very simple and like black and white. And no, I think it's not. I think fundamentally you and me really like Alliya and feel for her and feel that she is like in many ways been taken advantage of in this relationship. I don't even necessarily know if it's like conscious on Shawn's part, but like the age gap, the wealth gap, the passport gap. And I feel frustrated by the fact that like it's been so much of it has just been like, no, it's like that she transitioned and she's late to everything and she's a bitch because of those things. You know what I mean? Like the blame has been put on her in this crazy way.
I mean, I also will say to your point, I think if, let's say, Perry were posting like, stop ICE, I would be like, wow, you're a fucking hypocrite. Because I know you voted for that. And I know that, you know what I mean? Like, I think with Shawn, there's like a little more nuance, as much as I will never concede that the way he shows up in his relationship is like, from what we've seen, it's toxic, and I'm not going to change my mind about that. But I don't know. People are complicated. I don't know.
Yeah, probably. I actually know for a fact I called him like an evil piece of shit at one time. And I'll walk that one back. I think he's more complicated than that, but I think that he has acted in a really shitty way. And like, I want him to get better. And I also just like want them to not be together. Like, I don't think it's like good for either of them. And
yes. And it feels like we're experiencing a collective gaslighting when we see him doing things that are actually harmful, but we know he knows better. And then people are like, oh, you're her angel. That's hard to see.
Yes, I think it's like people's reactions to Shawn and Alliya are so frustrating to me because I'm like, I really feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Like Shawn, I don't think is like purely awful, but the way that people are hyping him up, like he's like the angel and hero of this season, I think is like, it's so ignorant. I hate the blame that's being put on Alliya by everyone. And I hope that she knows that there's people who see her and are with her.
I agree with that 100%.
I will say in August, Shawn posted a picture with Justin Baldoni saying he's always Team Justin.
Ooh.
And like, yeah, I'm not really like that well versed on the whole Justin Baldoni versus Blake Lively situation, but like, I fear that's getting into like weird. Look, like I almost don't want to speak on it, but I just think it's like it's an interesting like thing that he is. I mean, we do think that he's kind of a woman hater in many ways.
I think he's kind of misogynistic. And I will say, I think he's kind of misogynistic in a way a lot of gay men are misogynistic. Like,
yes.
So it's also like a culture of misogyny that he's probably a part of. But I think that same culture of misogyny falls for like the like misogynist propaganda in these like big court cases. Yeah.
Exactly. So I just did notice that. And in October, Shawn visited Greg, Joan, and Lucille in Long Island. Loved that. And onto Alliya. In November of 2025, Alliya posted about being on hormones for a year. So it's been even longer now. I'm so happy for her. And
exciting.
Alliya has a beauty Instagram page called Alliya Beauty, Alliya Beauty. And she sells like press-on nails The site wouldn't open for me though, unfortunately. So maybe she's got to update that link because I was interested. I might buy something from her.
Yeah. To wear Sarper's comedy show.
Oh my God, literally. And I did note that Shekinah is consistently in Alliya's comments hyping her up, which I thought was really cute and sweet.
Love that.
And Alliya posted a video a month ago of her. Okay, interestingly, Alliya, she posts like solo content mainly, like her at the gym, like selfies, whatever. And Shawn hasn't been on her grid in a very long time. He is in one recent video, but it's like a collab post with some other 90-day person that I don't know. And it's like Shawn and Alliya were in attendance at that person's birthday party, but it's like nothing romantic. I don't even know if like they're in the same shot together. So I don't even know if that fully counts. And like no couples content though is what I'm trying to emphasize.
I do feel like they are ultimately just in like a platonic
Partnership.
green card partnership, which like I totally support. I just wish they could like skip the drama of pretending to be anything else, you know?
Agreed. And honestly, I wonder if that's what's going on behind the scenes. Like, because also Alliya posted a video a month ago of her typing on a computer. Like, okay, it's a video of her sitting clearly in like Shawn's living room, and it's her typing on a computer, and there's just like text on the video, like on the screen, that reads, I swallowed my questions, deleted our conversations, and walked away in silence. Some battles are only won by letting go. And it's like this annoying, like vague booking thing. I literally... That said, I mean, of course, it just could be for like, you know, rage bait or like it could just be bait, like for people to interact with.
Yeah.
It is interesting that she's doing this like in Shawn's home, and like obviously fans of the show would know that. But I do feel like it's kind of painting a picture overall of like how we saw them at the reunion, and then how like they don't seem to really be interacting, and definitely not romantically even when they do. It seems like they're not together, and I don't know. I'm happy to see that if everyone understands what's going on, and like I hope that they feel good about that.
Agreed. Shawn is following exactly one political page, and it's Pete Buttigieg. Isn't that funny and random?
No, because he's gay.
I know, but like he's like so like I feel like he's so narrowly in his gay bubble. That's like the only person he follows. It's kind of funny. Like
his politics is literally like white, rich LA
white
gays.
gay man. I know.
Yeah.
Like I'd much rather this than Charlie Kirk. It's just funny to me. And Alliya is like pretty openly progressive. She follows a lot of pages that are like nothing explicitly political, but a lot of like pages that post progressive content.
Okay,
so
period. Slay girl. Thanks so much for being here, everyone. This was so fun. It was like interesting doing a different style of episode, and it was really cool to see where people are now. I was a little surprised at how much things have not changed for a lot of people. Like, I guess the fact that everyone is still together, as like officially, as far as we can tell.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Our episode for the next season will come out on May 14th, covering season 12, episode 1 of 90 Day Fiancé.
And we hope you'll tune in. We're so excited to experience it live with you guys.
Yes, can't wait. We are planning to come out with at least one episode in the interim, so that would be most likely on May 7th. But if we want to just take that time off, we didn't say anything about coming out with an episode. Hush, hush. So we'll definitely see you in mid-May for the new season that's coming out, and we cannot wait.
So excited. If you're not already following us, I don't think me saying this again is going to help, but please, just in case, please. First of all, wherever you are listening to the podcast or watching on YouTube, follow us there. Leave us a 5-star review, please. Also, frankly, a comment if you're up for it. Positive only. And then also,
negative will get deleted.
Also, please follow us on social media. We're at MyBestViewPod. That's one word. Pretty much everywhere.
Yeah. If you see us on Twitter, no, you didn't. That's just for me to yell at YouTube. Never forget. I'm not supporting them.
Never.
Bye, everyone.
Okay, bye.